All right, so court is calling 2023 CR 4371B, State versus Moreno-Vasquez. Can I have parties re-announced for the record?
David A. Garcia, attorney for Marco Moreno-Vasquez, Judge.
All right, are you all ready to proceed?
We're ready, Judge.
All right, and for the interpreter, you've previously been sworn, you're still under oath. If you could just state your name for the record.
Norma Neal.
All right, and is your client and everyone able to hear the interpretation?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's bring them in.
Judge, do I need to announce that I'm here for him?
Yes.
And for the record, Monica Guerrero, I am present for Mr. Cadiz and I'm listening.
All right, for the jury?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the interpreter here. She's been here previously. She's under oath. And for the state's next witness.
The state called Aggie Hernandez.
All right. And this witness is represented by counsel. And the counsel is,
My name is Monica Guerrero.
all right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record, please.
Alex David Hernandez Rivas.
Aggie Hernandez Rivas.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Aggie, how old are you currently?
27.
27. What is your date of birth? Do you recall what year you came to San Antonio, Texas?
Sí,
Yes. What year was
el 22.
that? 22. And where did you live before you came to San Antonio, Texas?
En Honduras.
In Honduras. And are you from Honduras?
Sí.
Yes. And have you taken responsibility for your actions on the day of the Hernandez, aka Ivana's death?
No entendí la pregunta.
I didn't understand the question. Let me ask it this way. Were you charged with the offense of murder?
Sí.
Yes. Okay. And did you enter a plea to the offense of murder?
No.
No. Okay. Let me ask you this way. Did you enter a plea agreement with a different prosecutor for your charge of murder?
Sí.
Yes. And so the agreement that you reached with a different prosecutor, is your understanding under that agreement that you can be sentenced from anywhere from 5 to 99 years in prison, 95 to 35? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna withdraw and re-ask the question. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question about your plea agreement, okay? Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes. Okay. Under the agreement that you reached with a different prosecutor, is it your understanding that the judge can sentence you from anywhere from 5 to 35 years in prison under your agreement?
Sí.
Yes. Did anyone make you any promises for you to accept that plea offer?
No.
No,
And so after you entered into your plea deal, did you come to the state through your attorney and let us know that you wanted to provide testimony?
Sí.
yes,
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about the month of February of 2020. At that time, did you have a job?
No.
no.
Okay. Where would you hang out in San Antonio, Texas to try to obtain work?
Iba al centro de la ciudad.
I used to go downtown in the city.
Okay. And did you come to know someone by the name of Marco Moreno-Vasquez?
Sí.
Yes,
Do you see Marco Moreno-Vasquez in court here today?
Sí.
yes.
Okay, can you please just point to him and tell me the color of the shirt that he's wearing?
Gracias.
Azul.
Blue,
How did you meet Marco Moreno-Vasquez?
Estaba en busca de trabajo.
I was looking for a job.
Okay. Did he come to where you are looking for workers, or how did that occur?
Sí, pasó por el lugar donde estaba yo.
Yes, he passed by the place where I was at.
Okay, and at that time, what happened? Did you go work for him, or what happened?
Sí, fui a trabajar.
Yes, I went to work.
Okay, what type of work would you do for him?
Dando de comida a sus caballos y arrancando los nopales.
Feeding the horses and also pulling out the cactuses.
Would you also stay on his property?
Sí.
Yes,
Do you remember what was the address to that property?
Putí.
he,
Okay. If I show you, I'm gonna show you what has been entered into evidence out of state exhibit one this week. And you can look to the screen on your right, okay?
Said 115.
Can you see that okay?
Sí.
yes,
Is that the property that you're talking about in Proceedings?
Sí.
yes,
Okay. Now, can you see the building that I'm pointing to on the property?
Sí.
yes.
Did you live in this house or on a separate house?
Separada, diferente.
Separate and different.
Now I'm gonna show you state exhibit 158. Is that the house that you would live at?
Sí.
Yes,
About how long did you stay living and working for Marco Moreno-Vasquez?
Un mes quizás.
maybe a month.
Would that be like 1 month before the murder?
Sí.
Yes,
Do you remember what kind of cars Marco Moreno-Vasquez had?
Nomás recuerdo uno.
I just remember one,
Which one is that?
Una Suburban.
Suburban.
I'm gonna show you state exhibit 197. And does that appear to be the Suburban that you're speaking about?
No puedo verla bien.
I cannot see it well.
if he wants to, this is a better view.
I'm gonna hand you, this is one, States Exhibits 190 through 200. Can you look at those for me?
Sí.
Yes,
Okay, so that's the suburban you're talking about.
Sí.
yes.
Okay, and that vehicle, do you know who would drive that vehicle?
Sí,
Who would drive? the
Yes,
vehicle?
su esposa.
his wife.
Okay. Okay, so now I wanna talk to you about February 16th, 2023, the day of the murders. Do you remember how you started that day off? How?
Estaba trabajando y de repente me dijo que fuéramos a un lugar y fuimos.
I was working and all of a sudden he told me that we were gonna go someplace and we went.
Okay, when you say he, do you mean Marco Moreno-Vasquez?
Sí,
Yes,
Did he tell you where you all were going to go?
no,
no,
And when you all left the property in Boutique, which vehicle did you get into?
una suburban.
and on the Suburban.
Who got into the vehicle?
Los tres,
Uh, three, the three.
Okay, who are the three? What are the names?
yo, Marco y su esposa.
Who else?
Myself, Marco, and his wife.
And who else was in the vehicle?
Sus hijos,
His children.
When you guys started driving, where did you end up if you know?
nomás fuimos al lugar ese donde falleció la persona.
We just went to that place where that person died.
Okay. When you got to the place where the person died, let me back up. Do you remember how you all were sitting in the car? Who was driving the car?
Su esposa manejaba, él estaba adelante de copiloto.
His wife was driving, he was on the front, he was a co-pilot.
Okay. What is his wife's name? Do you know?
Mm, Ramona,
Ramona,
Okay. And where were you sitting in the vehicle?
estaba atrás.
I was in the back.
Were you sitting behind Ramona or behind Marco Moreno-Vasquez?
No sé, no recuerdo bien.
I don't know, I don't remember very well.
Okay. So you guys got to the place where the man died. Did you have a gun with you?
Sí,
Yes.
How did you get that gun?
Marcos me la dio.
Marco gave it to me.
And when Marco gave you the gun, where did you put it?
La puse en la bolsa de mi chamarra.
I put it in my jacket pocket.
Did Marco have a gun?
Sí,
Yes.
When you guys were on the way to the location, did Marco tell you, you hear Marco talk about where y'all were going or why?
no.
No,
Okay, and so when you got to the location where the man died, why did you get off the car?
Porque él me dijo que me bajara.
because he told me to get out of. to get out.
Okay. When you got off of the vehicle, where did you go at the location?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
When you got out of the vehicle, where did you go at the location where the man died?
Me paré al frente de la casa.
I stood in front of the house.
And where was Marco?
Estaba también en la casa, en la puerta.
He was also at the house, at the door.
And what did Marco do when y'all were at the door area?
Nomás estaba discutiendo con la persona.
He was just arguing with the person.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. How did the person know to come to the door?
Oh, tocó su puerta Marcos.
Oh, Marco knocked on the door.
Okay. And who's the person that came to the door? Is it the same person that died?
Sí,
Yes,
And when you. Okay, I'm gonna show you State Exhibit 17. Are you able to see that up there?
sí la veo.
yes, I can see it.
Okay, is this the door that you're talking about?
Sí,
Yes,
Okay, and so you and Marco are standing outside of this door, is that correct?
sí,
yes,
Okay, and then you stated that Marco knocked on the door, is that correct?
sí,
yes,
Okay, and then the man that died came to the door, is that correct?
sí.
yes.
So when the man that died came to the door, then what happened?
Estaba discutiendo con Marcos.
He was arguing with Marco
What were they arguing about?
Acerca de un dinero.
about some money.
What did you hear Marco tell the man that died?
No más que le pagara el dinero.
Just to pay him back the money.
Do you know who, did the man that died, did he owe Marco money?
Sí,
Yes,
Do you know why he owed Marco money?
no.
no,
Can you describe how Marco's voice was when he's arguing with the man that died?
Pero no entiendo.
excuse me, I don't understand.
Can you describe Marco's demeanor during the argument? Was he angry? Was he being loud? How was he?
No estaba en voz baja.
No, he was, he had like, his voice was low.
His voice was what?
Era baja.
Low.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. State Exhibit 76, just give me a minute. Okay. Are these on the screen? Who is? Okay, who is this right here?
Marcos.
Marcos,
And who is that right there?
Soy yo.
Okay,
myself.
and the person that's hand right here, who is that?
Could you describe where you're pointing? We can't see your finger.
No, I'll do it. Okay, Adi, can you look up here, please? Who is that person right there?
Marcos.
Marcos,
And who is the
Eh,
person
soy
right here?
yo.
that's me.
And this hand right here, who does that belong to?
Ese fue el que falleció.
That was the one who died.
Okay, and so at this moment, I'm gonna resume the state's exhibit, but is this where you were describing that there was a verbal altercation occurring?
Okay, sí.
Okay, yes.
On the video right here, what is Marco saying? Do you remember?
Nomás que le pagara su dinero.
Just that to pay him back the money. His money, correct.
Okay, so during this verbal argument that was occurring between Marco and the man that died. At this point, when they moved out of the camera view, what happened?
Estaban peleando,
They were fighting,
Fighting how?
peleando con los puños,
a fist fight.
Okay,
pero él sacó como un alfilero.
The interpreter needs to clarify a word with the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
Como un alfil, como un puñal, podría decir.
He pulled out like a knife.
okay. Let's back up a little bit. When you say that they were fighting, who started the physical altercation? Who hit who first?
El que falleció,
The one who died.
Okay. And when you say that he pulled out like a knife, who are you talking about?
sacó un cuchillo para atacar a Marcos.
He pulled out a knife to attack Marco.
Okay. And now you have previously met with me, right?
Sí,
Yes,
Okay. And you remember you came to my office and we talked about what happened, correct?
sí.
yes.
Okay. And when we talked about what happened, you previously stated that the victim did not have a knife, that it was.
I'm going to object, Judge. Prosecutor's making herself a witness. It's improper questioning.
That'll be overruled. You can ask the question.
When you talked to me in my office, you said that the victim did not have a knife, that it was some type of tool that you were unable to see. Do you recall saying that?
Sí, dije
Yeah.
que un alfilero, porque Era una herramienta, un desarmador.
I said it was a knife, but it was a tool, like
Un desarmador no,
like a screwdriver.
Okay. And when Marco went into the fence area and was fighting with the victim.
I'm going to object to the leading.
That'll be sustained.
When Marco went into the fence area, were they fighting?
sí,
Yes,
Did Marco have a gun?
sí,
yes,
Okay, and then you're saying that the victim pulled out some type of screwdriver or tool?
sí.
yes.
What did Marco do, or what did Marco do when he saw? the tool?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Perdón.
I'm sorry.
What did Marco do when he saw the victim had that tool screwdriver per se?
Sacó su pistola, lo disparó.
He pulled out his gun and he shot him.
And what happened to the victim's body?
No sé porque ellos estaban adentro y yo estaba afuera.
I don't know because they were inside and I was outside.
Okay, so if you were outside, how did you know that Marco shot the victim?
Porque escuché los disparos.
Because I heard the shots.
Okay, but you're saying you didn't see the victim's body.
No, en ese momento no.
No, not at the moment, no.
Did you go back to the gate at any time?
Sí estaba, pero por la afuera.
Yes, I was there, but on the outside.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna show the video again. So what are you doing on the video right now? So what happened in the video?
Yo disparé,
I shot.
Where did you shoot?
pero disparé al aire libre.
I shot in the air.
Why did you shoot?
Okay.
Porque Marco me dijo que disparara.
Because Marco told me to shoot.
So explain to the jury how we get from Marco fighting with the victim to shooting and then telling you to shoot. Walk the jury through that.
No entendí la pregunta.
I didn't understand the question.
Okay. After you heard the 2 gunshots, is that what you said?
I'm going to object to the leading.
Overruled.
When did Marco come back to you?
Después que él disparó, me apuntó con su arma y me dijo que disparara.
After he made the shot, he pointed his gun at me and told me to shoot.
Okay. And what did you do when he pointed his gun at you and told you to shoot?
Le pregunté que a dónde y me dijo que nomás disparara a lo que sea y saqué la arma y disparé.
I asked him, where do you want me to shoot? And he told me, whatever, and then I just pulled it out and I shot.
Okay. Did you see the victim at this time?
No,
No,
How many times did you shoot?
no recuerdo bien, no sé si 3 o 2.
I don't remember very well. I don't know if it was 3 or 2.
Okay. When you were done shooting, where did you go?
Al carro.
To the car.
And where did Marco go?
al carro también.
to the car as well.
And what happened when you guys got back into the car?
No, nos fuimos
We left
Where did you go to?
a su casa.
to his house.
What happened when you got back to his house?
Nada.
Nothing.
Did you stay the night at his house?
Sí,
Yes.
Did you stay inside of the main structure or did you stay in your camper?
en el camper.
In the camper.
When you guys went back to the house or the property in Cotique, did you ever go inside Marco's house that night?
No,
No.
The next day, did you guys stay in San Antonio or go somewhere else?
fuimos para Dallas.
We went to Dallas
Okay. Why would you go to Dallas?
Tenía miedo.
he was afraid.
And when you say we went, who all went in that?
Yo, Marcos y su familia.
Me, Marcos, and his family.
When you say his family, is that including his wife and his kid?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how long y'all stayed there?
2 días.
2 days.
Did you go back to the boutique location after that?
Sí,
Yes.
I guess I kind of want to back up to the shooting, sorry. So you're telling this jury that you thought that the victim had some type of tool or something, is that correct?
sí,
Okay.
Yes.
But when I talked to you, you said that you couldn't really see what the victim had in his hand, correct?
no distinguí bien lo que era, pero sí sé que era una herramienta.
I couldn't identify what exactly it was, but I knew it was a tool.
Okay, and so you're saying that you could see inside the gate while they were fighting, but then once the shooting happened, you couldn't see inside the gate?
No,
No,
porque se metieron más adentro, más a fondo.
because they went more inside, like deeper.
Okay. So when Marco told you to shoot, why did you shoot?
Nomás tuve miedo y disparé.
I was just afraid and I shot.
Well, you were afraid, but why else did you feel like you had to listen to him?
No sé.
I don't know.
Do you know what happened with the guns that were used?
No, las agarró Marco.
No, Marco got them.
So are you saying that you gave the gun that you used back to Marco?
Sí,
Yes.
When did you give it back to him?
en el camino cuando íbamos rumbo a Putí, en una gasolinera se la di.
On the way back, when we went back to Petit, I gave it to him at the gas station.
Do you know what he did with them? Or did you see him do anything with them?
No,
No,
Did he tell you anything after the shooting occurred?
nomás que no fuera a contar nada a nadie.
just not to say anything to anyone.
Okay. After you all went to Dallas on today. When you came back to San Antonio, did you get pulled over by the police?
Sí,
Yes,
And did you go into the substation and give a statement to police when you were arrested?
sí,
yes,
And during that time, did you tell them the truth about Ramona and the kid being in the car?
no.
no.
Why not?
Pensé que la iban a encerrar a ella.
I thought they were going to lock her up.
And during the time that you gave the interview to the police, did you tell them back then that both you and Marco shot?
Sí,
Yes,
Now I kind of want to talk to you about Marco's appearance back in 2023. Do you remember what he looked like back in 2023?
pues igual.
well, the same.
Okay, would you describe him as a bigger guy or a smaller guy?
Creo que sí estaba más grande.
Yeah, I think he was bigger.
Okay, and was he bigger than the man that got killed?
Yes.
Probable, sí.
Probably, yes.
Now I kind of want to talk to you more about the fight that you're describing happened between Marco and the victim. So you said that Marco pulled the gun out. Did you see him pull the gun out, or you did not see him pull the gun out?
Sí, sí,
Yes,
You saw him pull a gun out.
sí.
Yes.
Cuando la sacó se fue para adentro.
when he pulled it out, he went inside.
Okay. Do you know if the victim saw the gun at all?
Sí, por él corrió para adentro cuando miró el arma.
Yes, he ran inside when he saw the gun.
Okay, when he was running inside, was his back facing to Marco or somewhere else?
Estaba de espalda.
It was his back.
His back was to who?
Hacia Marco.
It was towards Marcus.
Okay. Now.
Your Honor, the interpreter would like to make a correction.
Yes.
It was, his back was facing Marco, not towards Marco.
If I could just have a minute.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see State Exhibit 21 up there?
Sí,
Yes,
So I'm just trying to clarify, at the time that the verbal altercation was occurring, we can see that part on the video, is that correct?
yes,
And so the verbal altercation was happening on the outside of this fence area, is that correct?
sí,
yes,
Okay, so then. When you say that there was a physical altercation occurring between the victim and Marco, where was that occurring? In this picture?
en la entrada.
at the entrance.
Like here?
No, para el otro lado.
No, to the other side.
Okay. So I'm showing you state exhibit 25. Can you point out where the verbal altercation, can you see where the verbal altercation was occurring in state exhibit 25?
No.
No,
So can you see where the verbal altercation was occurring in state exhibit 21?
Sí.
yes,
Okay. I'm sorry, I said verbal. I meant physical. Can you see where the physical altercation was occurring in state exhibit 21?
Sí.
yes.
Okay, so where were Marco and the victim when they started physically fighting with each other?
Estaba en la entrada, pero corrieron hacia adentro.
They were at the entrance, but then they ran towards inside.
So when you're saying, can you see where they were
And if you need to
physically
approach, you can.
fighting in state exhibit 21?
Sí.
Yes,
Estaban como por este lugar.
Okay. Can you? Okay, can you point to it so the jury can see what you're talking about? Okay. And so that's where they physically started fighting with each other, is that correct?
Sí.
So
Yes.
then when you say that they entered more into the location, can you see that in State's Exhibit 21?
Creo que quizás él entró hasta por este lugar.
I think he just went in like in this area.
Okay. Can you point to it? And in State's Exhibit 25, does that show more where they were when the firearm was pulled out?
No me recuerdo haber visto.
I don't remember having seen this.
Okay, so you don't remember seeing anything that's in State's Exhibit 25, is that correct?
No.
No,
So what you remember seeing is shown in State's Exhibit 21.
Sí.
yes,
Okay, and so it's your testimony that they started physically fighting right here,
Sí.
yes,
and then the gun was pulled out somewhere over here.
Sí, en ese momento donde comenzó a pelear por aquí, él sacó su pistola y dio unos pasos más para adelante. Y después
yes. At that moment, when they started to fight, they were right here, and then they just took a few more steps.
él se metió, comenzaron a pelear aquí y
They started to fight here.
sacó su pistola y disparó.
They
Pues se metió más para adentro, quizás por aquí.
pulled out the gun, and he shot, and then he went more inside, like around here.
Okay. And then how many gunshots did you hear at that point?
Como 5, quizás 5.
About 5, maybe 5.
Okay, earlier didn't you say 2?
Dije 2, pero lo que yo disparé, que quizás fue 2 o 3.
I said 2, the ones that I shot. I said 2 or 3.
And so then after you hear the shots from inside the location, then what did Marco do?
me apuntó con su arma y me dijo que disparara.
He pointed his gun at me and told me to shoot.
Did Marco ever say anything else about the money that he was owed from the victim?
No,
No,
Have you ever been to the location where the shooting occurred before the day of the shooting?
no,
no,
Did you know the victim who was killed that day?
no,
no,
Do you know how Marco knew the victim that was killed that day?
no,
no,
Did you hear Marco call the victim by name or anything like that?
no.
no.
Defense?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
So Adis,
Just one moment.
you understand you're sworn to tell the truth here. You understand that?
Sí,
Yes,
And that if you lie, the DA can charge you with perjury, which would be a felony crime.
sí,
yes,
And you got arrested out in Poteet, right? Or in Atascosa.
Puti.
petite,
Okay, in Poteet, but not here in Bear County, correct?
No,
no,
And they took you into a room and the detectives questioned you, right?
sí,
yes,
And they swore you to, they read you your Miranda rights, right?
sí,
yes,
And you agreed that you wanted to talk to them.
sí,
yes,
Did you know that was being videotaped?
sí,
yes,
And you lied to those detectives, didn't you?
no,
no,
Isn't the story you told the detectives different than the story you told this prosecutor?
Lo único diferente que dije
Ya.
fue que dije que su esposa que no habían dado en ese lugar, que solo éramos los dos.
The only difference about what I said, it was that his wife wasn't with us,
Okay.
that it was just the two of us.
So you're telling this jury that you told the detectives the truth, correct? When you were interviewed,
Sí,
Yes,
but you've admitted at least that one of the differences that you're telling today versus you're telling back then was that you left out his Marco's wife, right? Ramona?
sí,
yes,
So when I ask you, did you lie to the detectives when you were initially interviewed? You told this jury no, right?
I didn't understand.
Okay, let's ask it again. By not telling the detectives about Ramona, when the detectives asked you initially, you're telling this jury, you're still telling that you still told the detectives the truth? Is that what you're telling this jury?
nomás en eso creo que le mentí.
I just lied on that.
Okay. So are you willing to admit to this jury now that when the detectives interviewed you in Poteet, that you lied to them? Yes or no?
Sí,
Yes,
In fact, you lied today to this jury, didn't you? Yes or no, Adis?
Sí,
yes,
You lied to them today, right? You did, didn't you?
nomás en eso.
just on that.
Okay. Now, Adis, I know you're scared, right? Because your freedom lies in the balance, correct?
No,
No,
You're not scared about this whole process at all?
no.
Okay. When you arrived at the scene in that Suburban that the DA asked you about, you remember that, right?
Perdón.
I'm
When you
sorry.
arrived at to Danielle's house,
Could you repeat the name, counsel, please?
when you arrived at Danielle's house, this is the person you killed. You were in a Suburban with Marco and his family, correct?
Sí, estaba en una Suburban.
Yes, I was in a Suburban.
Where did the Suburban park in front of Danielle's house? Tell the jury.
Enfrente, sí.
In front of it.
Okay, so the DA showed you a couple of pictures, and the picture that shows you the gateway entrance states exhibit number 21 that she kept showing to you up there. That's the entrance to the location where Danielle lived, right?
Sí,
Yes,
So did the Suburban park right in front of it? Or did it park further back on each side?
un poco más atrás.
a little bit farther back.
And when you say a little bit further back, you mean a little bit further back from the gate, right? Because there were trucks parked in front of it?
Sí,
Yes,
But the people that were sitting in the Suburban, when you and Marco got out and walked to the front of that gate, they could see the gate, couldn't they?
quizás.
perhaps.
Okay. And there was enough lighting at that gate to see what was going on, wasn't there?
Sí,
Yes,
In fact, on the way to Danielle's house, didn't you guys stop at a Dairy Queen?
no.
no,
So your testimony is you drove straight from Marco's house in the Suburban straight over to Danielle's.
Sí,
yes,
You don't recall stopping at a Dairy Queen.
no.
no,
You also lied when you testified today about Marco shooting Danielle because the detective asked you, didn't he? Why did you shoot? And you said because you saw the victim pull out a knife and was waving it around. Do you recall telling the detective that? It's all on video.
No,
no,
Okay. So are you saying that's not true? That you didn't say that on video?
yo dije que había disparado, pero no a una persona, sino que al
I,
aire
I
libre.
said I had shot, but not at the individual, but up to the air.
Right, but you told the detective you shot blindly in the air when the victim pulled out a knife, right?
No.
No.
Okay. And didn't you tell the detectives on that video that Marco was hitting the victim with the gun?
Sí.
Yes.
And you say all of this fighting happened right at the entrance of the gate.
Sí.
Yes.
And then you fire your weapon, Marco fires his weapon, and then you guys run back to the car.
Sí.
Yes.
And you say that you had the gun on you when you got into the car and left Marco's house to go to Danielle's, correct?
I'm sorry, counsel, could you repeat that question?
When you left Marco's house, you said you had the gun on you that you used at Danielle's. Is that correct?
No.
No.
Where did you get the gun from?
Me la dio, pero cuando llegamos al lugar,
He gave it to me, but when we got to the place,
Did he give it to you in the car or did he give it to you outside of the car?
en el carro.
in the car.
Okay. Where did he get it from? In the car. Where did he have it?
Él la tenía en su gaveta del carro.
It was, the interpreter needs to clarify a word with the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
Como tiene una cajita y la tenía ahí.
He had it in the drawer. And he describes the drawer like a little box.
You talking about the center console? Or are you talking about the glove box? Or are you talking that he was carrying a
Yeah.
separate box?
Caja de los guantes.
It was a glove box.
The one that was in front of him or the one next to him between the driver and the passenger?
A frente de él.
In front of him.
So he reached in, grabbed the gun, and then handed the gun to you in the car,
Sí.
Yes.
in front of the kids,
Sí.
in
Yes.
front of Ramona.
Sí.
Yes.
And then you get out of the car and that's when you go and you kill Danielle, right?
No.
No.
That's when you go and confront Danielle?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you guys went and you both confronted Danielle according to your testimony. Isn't that right?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And then your testimony is that you guys, after killing Danielle, you drive over to a gas station?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you know where that gas station was?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, you're familiar with San Antonio, aren't you?
No, no, no conozco, apenas llevaba quizás un mes.
No, I didn't know San Antonio. I had just been here for maybe a month.
Right. Didn't you put down that your permanent address was on Ruiz Street? Isn't that where you said you were living?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you had been to that address at Ruiz Street, right?
No.
No.
Okay, so you put it down as your address, even though you didn't really live there. Is that right?
Sí.
Even though you had never been there. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
So you lied about that also? Yes or no?
Sí.
Yes.
you told this jury that when you stopped at this let's get back to that gas station. Was that gas station in San Antonio or was it in Poteet?
Rumbo a Puti.
On the way to Petite.
Right, on the way in San Antonio, out of San Antonio, into Poteet, or out of San Antonio in Poteet onto Marco's house?
Creo que en San Antonio también.
I think it was San Antonio.
Was it off the highway?
Sí,
Yes,
Which highway? Was it Loop 410?
no sé.
I don't know.
Was it I-35?
No recuerdo.
I don't remember.
You don't remember this event very well?
Sí,
Yes,
Yes, you don't remember it, or you do remember it well?
sí recuerdo, solo que no conozco mucho el lugar.
I do remember them, but the thing is, I don't know the place very well.
Well, you had just killed somebody, right?
No,
No,
Somebody had died, correct?
sí,
yes.
Does that happen often in your life?
no,
No?
So I would think that everything about that night would be seared into your memory. You saw somebody shot, didn't you?
sí,
Yes,
And everything that happened before and after you just don't remember?
sí lo recuerdo.
I do remember.
But you can't remember this gas station?
No,
No,
And then you say you handed the gun to Marco at the gas station? Or did he demand it from you?
él me la pidió.
he asked for it.
Okay. And you told the detectives that he got rid of the weapons, didn't you?
Sí,
Yes,
But you told this jury that you don't know what he did with the weapons. Isn't that what you told us today?
sí,
yes.
Okay, so you lied about that also.
no.
No,
Let me ask you, Marco, do you know the difference between a truth and a lie? Adis, sorry.
Sí,
yes.
I'm not sure.
ok.
Okay.
Sustained.
What color was the weapon you were holding, Adis? When you were at Danielle's house?
Era como plateado, como, como la plata, como el color de la plata.
It was like, how would you call it? It was like silver, like the color of silver.
All of it was silver or was it two-tone?
No, todo era plateado.
No, the whole thing was silver.
And Marco's gun was black?
No,
No,
It was silver also?
no,
no.
You pled guilty to killing Danielle, didn't you?
No,
No,
You pled not guilty to killing Danielle?
sí,
yes,
Okay. So did you go to trial?
no,
no,
In fact, you took a plea deal with a cap of 35 years, right? Isn't that what the prosecutor asked you?
sí, sí,
oh, yes, yes,
Okay, so when I asked you if you pled guilty, you said no, you actually mean you did plead guilty, correct?
no.
no,
Okay, explain yourself, please.
Nomás no me opongo.
I just did no contest.
And you understand that that plea bargain means that you're going to come before this judge at some point and you're going to argue for whatever your attorney's going to argue. You have a very good attorney. But whatever you're going to argue, it's going to be between 5 to 99, 5 to 35 years, correct? In prison.
Sí,
Yes,
And in your plea paperwork, there was nothing about a condition that you have to testify in this case against Marco. Is that right?
perdón, no.
I'm sorry.
Let's ask you again. Your plea bargain with the DA, there was no requirement that you had to testify against Marco in this case. Is that right?
No entiendo la pregunta.
I don't understand the
Right.
question.
I guess I'll try to ask it a little slower. You took this plea, and when you took the plea, there was no requirement that you had to testify against Marco for your sentencing, right?
Sí,
Yes,
You asked to come and testify against Marco, didn't you?
sí,
yes,
In fact, that's what the prosecutor asked you. And the reason you're doing that is because if you testify against Marco, you're hoping that your attorney can use it to tell the judge that you helped in this case in the death of Danielle, correct?
no.
no,
Then why are you testifying?
Nomás quería decir la verdad.
I just wanted to tell the truth.
So now you want to tell the truth after you've lied at least 5 times, and I would say it's even more. Is that right?
Sí,
But you
Yes.
understand that if you testify here and Marco gets tagged with this, you're going to argue at punishment that you tried to help and do the right thing. Isn't that right?
It's on fine.
All right, the objection will be sustained.
Let's get back to your lies, Adis. Isn't it true? Well, let's talk about what do you do for a living? Is the only job you have working for Marco at the time you were arrested?
sí,
Yes,
How much money were you earning?
nada.
nothing.
Because you got free rent
Sí,
Yes,
and you also got to go into his house and eat out of his fridge, correct?
sí,
yes,
In fact, you spent a lot of time in his house, didn't you?
sí,
They
yes,
took you in like family, didn't they?
sí.
yes.
And counsel, just one moment. Does anyone need a break? I hear movement in the chairs. I'm sorry. No one? Okay. All right, defense, you may
So
continue.
you would come and go into that house like you lived there, am I right?
No,
No,
But you spent time in there just about every day, didn't you?
sí, pero pasaba afuera.
yes, but I would be outside.
Right, but every now and then, every day, you would go through the house.
Sí,
Yes,
I mean, they had cold stuff in the fridge, right? And it's hot here in Texas.
sí,
yes,
Hot out on that ranch or farm, whatever you want to call it.
sí,
yes,
And you had to feed the horses, didn't you?
sí,
yes,
And pulling all the cactus.
sí, sí.
yes.
Isn't it true that you threatened Marco and forced him to take his family down to Danielle's house?
No,
No,
Isn't it true that you're the one that shot and killed Danielle? And then you told Marco to fire into the air?
no,
no,
Isn't it true that the reason that Marco had his family in the car was because you had threatened Marco that if he didn't bring them and do what you needed at Danielle's house, you were going to kill him and his entire family?
no,
no,
Isn't it true that Marco and his entire family were afraid of you?
no,
no.
El DA tiene la carta que me hizo, me hizo un celi que tenía él diciendo de todo.
Anything else? Además.
Diga, la primera corte que tuvimos, el día 4 de julio,
No,
él
no,
me dijo, él me amenazó de abajo diciéndome eso.
Forget about that. ¿Tienes otras preguntas?
No, esto no.
Okay. When you were at that scene in front of that gate at Danielle's house, did you pick up any of the others? Did you pick up any of the spent shell casings?
no,
No,
Did you see Marco pick up any of the spent shell casings?
sí,
yes,
How many?
no sé.
I don't know.
How would you not know? You were there.
No, él los agarró en su mano, pero no sé cuántos tenía.
He picked them up with his hand, but I didn't know how many he had.
Well, how many shots were fired that night?
Pues, quizás 5,
Maybe 5.
Okay. And you say you fired twice, right?
sí, 2 o 3.
Yes, 2 or 3.
So now it's 2 or 3 shots by you. And you say you saw Marco, was he picking up your spent shell casings?
No,
Yes or no?
No,
So you're saying he went and he picked up his spent shell casings?
sí,
yes,
Okay, but you didn't see where?
perdón,
I'm sorry.
You didn't see where he picked them up?
del suelo,
From the ground.
Okay. So you watched him pick these up?
sí,
And
Yes,
how many did he pick up? How many times did he bend over to pick up?
no sé,
I don't know.
Okay.
no recuerdo.
I don't remember.
Well, this incident happened pretty quickly, right?
Sí,
Yes,
Okay. Because you told the detectives, as soon as the shots were fired, you both ran to the car. Right?
yes,
You never once told the detectives that Marco stopped to pick up the spent shell casings, did you?
no,
No,
So you're either lying today or you lied to the detectives upon that interview. Am I right?
No. No me preguntaron ellos.
they didn't ask me.
They asked you to tell them
Le-
everything that happened, didn't they? And to leave nothing out. Isn't that right?
No.
No,
So they just went along with whatever you said. Is that what you're telling this jury?
Me hicieron preguntas y yo contesté sus preguntas.
they asked me questions and I answered to their questions.
And you're telling this jury that you had no idea about Danielle at all until Marco told you that let's go to his house. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes,
And you told us when the prosecutor asked you that you didn't know much about Danielle or anything about the money owed. Isn't that right?
Sí.
yes.
Who was Tony that lived at Ruiz Street that you told the detectives you worked for?
Era un amigo.
Friend, he was a friend.
And so you didn't really work for Tony, did you?
No.
No,
But that's what you told the detectives, right?
No.
no,
When the detectives brought you in to question you
eh,
and they asked you if you knew why you were there, you said no, correct?
No.
no,
You didn't tell them you didn't know why you were there?
No.
no,
Okay. So you knew you were there because of the murder, correct?
Sí.
yes,
And then that's when you proceeded to lie to them.
No.
no.
Nothing further, Judge.
State.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief recess. And I'll have you all back here in 15 minutes. Please remember my previous instructions. Everyone, please rise for the jurors.
Just let me know.
But we'll call you if we do.
Just damn let me know.
If I get asking now with the next witness.
Yes.
For the 30.
All right, so
Dave,
let's
I'm gonna give
let's
you
have that
my
hearing.
bathroom break. Yeah. Bye.
Oh, are y'all taking him back for? Okay, because we're gonna do this here. I hear you. All righty.
So we're just gonna do the hearing and then bring,
I hear you, deputy.
put my guy's statement on, or?
give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. If there's a square microphone up there that's silver, if you could put that somewhere on your lapel, it's for the court reporter to hear. All right, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
It is Jesse Arias Jr.
And could you spell your last name, please?
Arias.
All right, state you may proceed. And this is, I'm sorry, for the record, this is a hearing outside the presence of the jury to determine the admissibility of a statement that's alleged to have been made by the defendant. All right, you, no, you may proceed.
Briefly explain your treatment experience.
Yes. I went and obtained my peace officer license at San Antonio College in the year of 2010. There, I went to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, where I've been employed for about 16 years. My current role as of right now is sergeant in the Criminal Investigations Division, where I'm assigned to the Violent Crimes Unit.
And how long have you been with the Bexar County Sheriff?
16 years.
And were you employed with Bexar County Sheriff's Office on February 23rd, 2023?
I was.
And on that day, did you conduct an interview with a suspect by the name of Moreno-Vasquez?
I did.
Prior to obtaining a statement from suspect Moreno-Vasquez, did you read him his rights in accordance with 3822 of the Texas Penal Code?
I did.
And did he acknowledge he understood his rights?
Yes.
And did he agree to speak with you about the offense?
Yes.
Now, when you conducted this interview, were you equipped with body worn camera?
I was not wearing one, but the room was equipped with Axon cameras.
And was a recording generated of the interview that was conducted?
It was.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you what has been marked as State Exhibit 217A. Can you tell me if you recognize it
Yes.
and how do you recognize it?
My initials.
Okay, have you watched State Exhibit 217A?
Yes.
And when did you watch it last?
I watched it today.
Okay, and when you watched it, did you affix your initials on it?
I did.
When you watched it, did it appear to be a fair and accurate representation of the interview that was conducted with the defendant?
Yes.
Okay, and except to comply with the legal rules, has it been altered in any way?
No.
And so at this time, the state would offer Exhibit 217A and to bring defense for inspection.
Thank you. May I take the detective on voir dire, Judge?
Yes.
So Detective Arias, what time today did you watch this video, States Exhibit 217A?
So this exhibit, I watched it today in the morning. I can't tell you exact time, but it was this morning.
Approximately?
9:30.
Okay. And it accurately depicted what you saw in the event that occurred when you interviewed my client, Marco Moreno-Vasquez, back 2.5 years ago?
Yes.
No objection.
Permission to publish.
The video?
Or do you want to see the rights read?
Yes.
Okay, yes, permission to publish 217A.
Bless you.
Thank you. And 217A, for purpose of the record, were the rights read in English or Spanish?
And in Spanish, and I do have a copy of the certified translation for.
All right, if I could see the certified transcript, which is States Exhibit 217.
You guys make me a copy, right?
Is that a good judge?
States Exhibit number 217 is admitted for purposes of this hearing,
Yes.
and States Exhibit number 217A is permitted, is admitted for purposes of this hearing. Yes. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, you may proceed.
Recording, right? You ready? Yeah. Yep. One does. From my partner, we Spanish. Habla español. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Vale? Marco K. ¿Hablas inglés? Nada. No. Ok. What's your date of birth? What? Me? Oh, enero del 27, sí. Oh, ok, 27. 8-9. ¿Cómo? And your address? Where do you live? 74? Yeah. Phone number? Okay. Y nada más dime si entiendes, ¿ok? Unas palabras, nada más dime si las entiendes, yo puedo tener sí, problemas, quizás por necesidad. Pero tienes el derecho de permanecer en el intelecto. Here's not wash your hands on your dog. No, sorry. Cualquier cosa que digas puede ser usada en contra tuya en la corte. Tienes el derecho de hablar con el abogado y que esté presente cuando sea derogado. Si no tienen la disponibilidad económica para encontrar a un abogado, uno será asignado para que te represente antes de algún cargar. También puedes dejar a un lado tu derecho de permanecer en silencio, tu derecho de solicitar un abogado y poder contestar cualquier pregunta o hacer cualquier comentario que deseas. Y si quieres contestar las preguntas, puedes parar y en el momento que deseas y reclamar tu derecho de solicitar un abogado, ¿entiendes? ¿Entiendes lo que te he dicho? Que son todos esos nuestros derechos. Ahora, ¿quieres hablar con nosotros? ¿De qué? Ok, well, ¿podemos hablar? Pues sí. Ok, a ver. Wait, so, what kind of...
Judge, did you want us to continue, like,
Yes.
What kind of car do you drive?
¿Qué harías? ¿Qué harías?
Oh, I'm sorry, just one moment, please. What page are we on with regards to the transcript?
So it starts on page 5 and it ends on page 7.
All right. Well, you can stop there because I believe the only issue, counsel, you're stating about the reading of his rights. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, from the video, it's hard to tell what my client responded to some of those questions, what his answers were. You look at the transcript, they have hum or hum. That's not answering the question. So my client never knowingly, voluntarily, or intelligently answered those questions. So it cannot be said that he understood and agreed to understanding his rights when they were read to him. Even though they were in Spanish, there was no answer from my client that declared that he understood. And because there was not, I think under 38, 32, 38, 32, 83, I can't remember, the state does not meet its burden. The police force did not meet their burden of reading him his Miranda rights, showing that he clearly understood and acquiesced to answer questions.
All right, and state your response. I do see in this transcript where questions are asked of him and he responds, mm-hmm.
Yes.
So your response.
So my response are read and you, on several portions regarding page 5, regarding the right to remain silent, the defendant does respond yes. And is not a denial, and the court can review the defendant's demeanor, but ultimately he does state to each right, and then when the detective in some, after all of the rights are read, asked, can we talk, the defendant says, well, yes. And so he was in knowing his rights, and he did voluntarily waive them and agreed to speak with the defendant.
See, and Judge, that's my point. How can he knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily waive his rights if he doesn't understand them? And it's not clear from even the transcription, especially from the video, what his answer is. And so at the end where the state's arguing, he agreed to talk. Well, that's not the point. He has to agree to talk after he's read his rights and it's clear that he understands them knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. And here we don't have that.
All right, could you play for the court the part of the video again where the rights are being read? And the court is asking that that video be played so that I can view
Or here.
or hear. And I'm using the answers as transcribed by the interpreter who transcribed State's Exhibit 217. And the court is reviewing the video as well with regards to pages 5 through 6.
Nada. No. Ok. Quizás no. Quizás voy por las. What's your date of birth? No. What one? Podría. Pero te tengo que leer esto. Okay. Y nada más dime si entiendes. Una palabra. Nada más dime si las tiene sentido. Puede tener. Sí, problemas, esa pronunciación. Pero tienes el derecho de.
Gracias.
No, sorry. Cualquier cosa que digas puede y será usada en contra tuya en la corte. ¿Entiendes? Sí. Tienes el derecho de hablar con el abogado y que esté presente cuando seas interrogado. ¿Entiendes? Si no tienes.
Judge, and I'm just gonna rewind that, because if the court, I know they're trying to go along, but you can see that in this exhibit, he is nodding his head along, while the detective is informing him of his right.
All right, and for that, what is the timestamp?
Cualquier cosa que digas puede y será usada en contra tuya en la corte. ¿Entiendes? Sí. Tienes el derecho de hablar con el abogado y que esté presente contigo cuando seas interrogado. ¿Entiendes?
That was 246, 50.
si no tienes la disponibilidad económica para encontrar a un abogado, uno será asignado para que te represente antes de algún intercambiar. También puedes dejar a un lado tu derecho de permanecer en silencio y tu derecho de solicitar un abogado y poder proceder a contestar cualquier pregunta o hacer cualquier comentario que desees.
Judge, if we can stop it right there.
Yes.
So there's two parts. You look at the transcript, the part where,
And I'm sorry, for the purposes of the record, where are you stopping the video? What's the timestamp?
3 minutes and 23 seconds.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
okay, so before that, where, is it Detective Arias?
At the time, I was a detective, it's a sergeant now, but Jesse, I mean,
All right,
anything.
where Sergeant Arias, back then detective, is reading him, he reads him the rights and says you have the right to speak with an attorney and have him or her present with you when you're questioned. Do you understand? There's not a response to that. Then he reads the second part. If you do not have the financial availability to find an attorney, one will be blank will be assigned to you to represent you before any interrogation. And then we go and there's an answer. So there's no answer to the question about you have the right to speak with an attorney and have him or her present with you when you are questioned. You understand. In the transcription, there is no response. In the video, I don't believe there's a response either. And so that's one of my points, that the state, through the arm of the police force, failed to read him each and every question and have him respond to each and every question with a yes or no to show that it was knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived.
All right, state response.
Judge, so, like I said earlier, the detective audience at the time does read the rights. The defendant is following along on the piece of paper that we see. At one point, the defendant even clarifies the word interrogation. Okay, so that shows that he has knowledge of what is being read to him, that he understands. And ultimately, at the end, he acquiesces. He says, the detective asked him, yes, can we talk? And he says, yes. At no point in this interview does he ever unequivocally invoke his right to remain silent. At no point does he say that he doesn't want to talk. He provides voluntary statements through the duration of his interview.
Judge, that's not the burden. Burden's on them, not on my client.
Okay, all right. In reading, are there any other arguments?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, as we need to continue and finish this, but where he says, clearly he says yes to certain questions, and then is not yes or no, Judge. So I'd argue, in addition to him not answering one of the questions in the Miranda rights, the state has failed to meet their burden.
All right, with regards to the defendant being Mirandized, the court is going to deny the defense's motion to suppress. Any other arguments with regards to, I know you said, counsel, that your issue was whether or not his rights were read and he understood his rights. Is there any other argument outside of that? Because the court has made its ruling on that first argument you have.
Right. No, Judge, I mean, it all encompasses. One, he never answered one of his understanding one of the rights, which kills the whole thing. And then secondly, the in addition to that, shows that he never responded with a yes or no. And the state wants to go along with him nodding and stuff, and then saying that he will talk, but the burden is on them to prove that he understood all of this. And I think it's clear from the video and the transcription, he did not.
All right, thank you. The court has made its ruling. All right, so the record is clear. One, the court is finding that the defendant voluntarily and knowingly
Intelligently.
Yes, thank you. Knowingly and intelligently uh, understood his rights, waived his rights, and gave a statement. The court is finding that the transcription of the defendant's interview that was in States Exhibit 217A, that was a video interview. The court is finding that the transcription, which is States Exhibit 217, was given to the defense timely, and the court is finding that based upon States Exhibit number 27, I'm sorry, States Exhibit 217, on the face of the document, it has been transcribed by Master Licensed Spanish Interpreter Cesar Chavez, license number 2203. Is there anything else before we bring the jurors in? All right, let's bring the jurors in.
Judge, I'd just like to note a running objection to all of the disclosure to the jury regarding either the video or the transcription of my client's statements based on my motion to suppress.
All right, so counsel, my understanding is that you all have provided the court with a redacted version, which is States Exhibit 217. Counsel, of course, you're not waiving your objections to the voluntariness of your client's statement or the fact that he knowingly waived his rights. But with regards to 217, are you in agreement that the redactions are the appropriate redactions, or is there something else that you're saying should be redacted?
No, Judge, the prosecutor and I talked about this beforehand. She told me what she redacted. I have no reason not to trust her. I trust her.
Okay.
And so, subject to my objections that are noted, no problems with
All
that.
right, thank you.
Just logistically, I did make copies for the jurors, but I don't know if the court would just prefer them to follow along on the video and then take the transcript back with them when they deliberate, or.
It would probably be best if they follow along on the screen because
Yeah.
¿Y cuándo van a agarrar el testimonio que va a haber? Después. Parte. Pero sí van a.
All right,
escuchar.
everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another interpreter who switched out. She's previously been placed under oath. She's still under oath. And state, call your witness.
The state calls Sergeant Arias.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Judge.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, you may proceed.
As of now, I am employed with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. I'm a sergeant in the Criminal Investigations Division assigned to the Violent Crimes Unit.
And duties as a sergeant with the violent crimes unit at the sheriff's office.
So my duties are to supervise the investigators assigned on that day, specifically the Violent Crimes Unit. At any given day, though, I do supervise any other unit if their supervisor is not there.
Are you certified peace officer?
I am.
And how long have you been with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office?
I have been employed with the Sheriff's Office for 16 years.
Can you explain to the jury the training you underwent to become a member of the Sheriff's Office?
So I started with San Antonio College Law Enforcement Academy, where I obtained my peace officer license. Then after, I went ahead and transferred to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, where we went ahead and went through an academy there. And it was several hours long.
Now, in your career with the Sheriff's Office, have your whole time been spent in the violent crimes unit, or have you done time in other?
I have done time in other units.
Can you kind of walk the jury through your previous assignment?
Assigned as an investigator, I went ahead, I was assigned to the Violent Crimes Unit, where I then transferred to the Homicide Unit. I spent about three and a half years in the Homicide Unit. Then I promoted to Sergeant.
Now, on February 23rd of 2023, were you employed with the Sheriff's Office?
I was
And what was your rank on that day?
investigator,
And what unit were you with on that day?
Homicide.
Did you become involved in a case involving an individual by the name of Moreno-Vasquez?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury how you became involved in that case?
I assisted two other investigators by the name of Mark Waits and Ruben Revelus, and they needed help in translating some of their interview.
Now, do you see the individual Marco Moreno-Vasquez in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you please point to him and identify him by an article for the investigation?
He's gonna be sitting at that table wearing a blue shirt, long sleeve.
Now, on February 23rd of 2023, did you obtain a statement from the defendant?
I did.
And prior to taking that statement, did you read him his rights in compliance with 3822 of the Texas Penal Code?
Yes.
And did he acknowledge that he understood his rights?
Yes.
Did he agree to speak with you on that day?
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 217. And just so the jury is aware, do you speak Spanish?
I do.
Okay, and so in your involvement in this case and assisting conducting those interviews, did you act as a translator between the Detective Waits and Detective Arevalos and the defendant?
I did.
And so have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 217 prior to taking the stand today?
Yes.
Okay, and does that appear to be a certified translation of the interview that you conducted?
Yes.
Okay, and so at this time, the state offers State's Exhibit 217 in compliance with prior notice from court.
Judge, no objection other than the previous objections that were heard.
All right, State's Exhibit 217 will be admitted.
At the time that you conducted the interview with the defendant, I'm gonna show you State's Exhibits 218 through 225 inclusive. Can you take a look at those for me? Do you recognize what is depicted in State's Exhibits 218 through 225?
Yes,
And do they appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the defendant as you observed him at the time that you took the interview?
yes,
At this time, the state offers Exhibits 218 through 225 inclusive and tendering the same to defense for inspection.
May we approach, Judge?
Yes.
publish your.
Granted.
Detective Arias or Sergeant Arias, can you see that up there?
I can.
And I'm displaying what is State's Exhibits 219. Does that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the defendant as you observed him at the time that you took statement?
Yes.
And again, in Exhibit 218, did that appear to be the defendant in this case, Moreno-Vasquez?
Yes.
And regarding State's Exhibit 23, does that appear to be a tattoo on the left arm of the defendant that says Chanel?
Yes.
Now, Detective, I'm gonna ask you to come take a speech. Next please. And if it's time, Judge, I would ask for permission to publish State's Exhibit 217.
All right, and defense, your previous objections are noted.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and you are allowed to publish 217.
So on page 1 of this certified transcription of the interview that you conducted, we see there's B1, B2, and B3. Have you been able to determine which voice you are in State's Exhibit 217?
Yes.
And which one would that be?
I believe I was B3.
Okay. And B2, which voice is that?
That's gonna be the defendant.
Now, starting on page 2, on line 5, who would B1, do you know?
Look at the transcription, I believe that's Detective Waits.
Okay. And so what is, Detective Waits asked the defendant, what is his name? What was the defendant's response?
Mark.
And what was the last name that was provided on line 10 of page 2?
Moreno.
And on line 1 of page 3, the question was asked, what is your date of birth? And now the question was also posed. What was the defendant's address and what was the response that was provided by the defendant on line 17 of page 3? And a question was posed to the defendant regarding his phone number and what was the response that was provided. On line 22 of page 3, the defendant is asked what his phone number is, and then what is the response that is provided on line 24 of page 3 by the defendant.
I don't have a phone.
And then so at this point. Did you read the defendant his right in accordance with 3822 of the Texas Penal Code?
Yes,
And can you read that for the jury starting line 4? Page.
well, any bit, we can talk more, but I have to read this to you. Is that okay?
And what was the defendant's response on line 5?
Oh, okay,
And what was your response on line 6?
okay, and just tell me if you understand, okay? The words, just tell me if you understand that I'm going to have
And then line 7,
on line 7. V2 says problems,
and B2 is the defendant, is that correct?
yes,
And then what is the response on line 8 of page 5?
yes, problems, with that pronunciation. Translators know by compass, here he means to say pronunciation,
Okay, and then here, what is that?
so you have the right to remain silent, dear Senator,
And what is the response by the defendant?
yes.
And then on line 12, what did you read to the defendant?
Anything you say can and will be used against you in courts, you understand?
And then on page 6, what was the defendant's response on line 1?
Yes,
And on line 2, what did you continue reading to the defendant?
you have the right to speak with an attorney and have him or her present with you when you are questioned, you understand? If you do not have the financial ability to find an attorney, one will be assigned to you to represent you before any interrogation.
And what was the defendant's response to that?
Interrogation,
And what was your response on line 4, page 6?
yes, do you understand?
And what was the defendant's response on line 5?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you continue in line 6 of page 6?
Also, you may also set aside your right to remain silent and your right to request an attorney and may proceed to answer any questions or make any comments you wish. If you want to answer the questions, you can stop, and at any time you want and claim your right to request a lawyer. You understand?
And what was the defendant's response in line 7 of page 6?
Mm-hmm.
And in line 8, what was your response?
Do you understand what I just said to you?
And what was the defendant's response on line 9 of page 6?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you respond to him on line 10 of page 6?
Okay, so those are all your rights. Now, do you want to talk to us? Yes.
And on line 11 of page 6, what was the defendant's response?
Well, about what? Because I don't,
Okay, and then on page 7, on V1, what was your response?
okay, can we talk?
And what was his response on line 2?
Oh, yes.
And so on line 4 of page 7, you ask him, what kind of car does he drive? On line 1 of, or line 4 of page 7, it appears that Detective Waits asked you to ask the defendant what kind of car does the defendant drive, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and did you ask him on line 7? Did you ask him what kind of car does he have? Does he have a truck or does he have a pickup truck?
yes.
Okay, and then in line 8 of page 7, what was the defendant's response?
I don't have anything myself.
And so what was your response on line 9?
So how, if you go home, how do you go?
And what was the defendant's response in line 10?
Oh, with my lady.
And what was your response in line 11?
With your lady?
And what was the defendant's response?
Mm-hmm.
And what was your response to that?
Your lady.
And then it appears on line 14, Detective Waite tells you to ask what does she drive, is that correct?
Yes,
And did you ask the defendant that in line 15 of page 7?
yes.
And what was the defendant's response in line 16 of page 7?
A white Ram truck.
And it appears on line 18 that Detective Waite asked you to ask the defendant what was the name of the defendant's lady, is that correct?
Yes.
And what was the defendant's response when you asked him that on line 20 of page 7?
Ramona Martinez.
Okay. So then on page 8, line 9, what did you ask the defendant?
Okay, so your lady is Ramona. Ramona, what? Martinez?
And on line 10, what was the defendant's response?
Mm-hmm.
And then you follow up on line 11 by asking them what?
Okay, is she your wife? Or is she just,
And what was the defendant's response?
no, she's my wife.
And jumping down to line 18, it appears that Detective Waite asked the defendant if he had any kids, and what was the defendant's response?
3.
And Detective Waite in line 20 of page 8 states 3 ? They live with you ? And what was the defendant's response?
Yes.
And on line 22, Detective Waite asked if that would be on Kimberly. And on line 1 of page 9, what was the defendant?
Yes.
Line 2 of page 9, Detective Waite asked, they live there, how old are they? And then what was the response provided by the defendant on line 5 of page 9?
13, 12, and 4.
Skip to page 11. And so then you continue to ask about the white truck, so picking up on page 5, or line 5 of page 11, excuse me, you said your wife, heard what, a white truck, and what was the defendant's response?
Mm-hmm.
And then in line 9 of page 11, you ask the truck that is in the house, whose is that? And what was the defendant's response in line 10 of page 11?
I don't know.
And then what was Detective Waite's response on line 11 of page 11?
You don't know whose it is?
And what was the defendant's response?
No.
And on line 13 of page 11, it appears that you asked the question, what did you ask?
You know what color it is? You know what color is it? What is it?
And Detective Waite, the light color, tan, or gold pure. And then you asking about the Tahoe. And what was Detective Wade's response?
No, well, that was, yes.
Right. And then on line 17 of page 11, what did you say?
Okay, so this is a pickup truck, a Tahoe. Do you know what a Tahoe is?
And what was the defendant? And then picking up on page 12, line 1, are you asking the defendant if he knows? We'll skip to line 3. Did you ask the defendant if he knows the Chevy brand?
Yes.
And then what was the defendant's response?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and so picking up on line 7 of page 12, what did you ask the defendant?
There is a truck there in your, outside your house. Whose is that?
And what was the defendant's response in line 8?
I don't know. That's what I'm telling you. If I knew, I would tell you.
What was your response in line 9?
When did that truck get there?
And on 10 of page 12, what is said here by the defendant?
I don't know. It's just that they are a pal. The pal had many friends and he just took the ones from Honduras.
And then what was your response in line 11 of page
But when is the first time that truck arrived there?
12? And what was the defendant's response?
Oh, I don't know.
On line 13, the question that you posed is, or when did you see it there for the first time? And then it appears that you do the translation. He says that the other truck is a friend of him. He has a lot of friends from Honduras. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it appears that the photos that we've seen were taken. Is that correct? In line 1 through 8.
Yes.
So then on page 14, line 12, I'll go ahead and read what you said. You said, so he said that the truck, he doesn't know whose it is. His friend has friends from Honduras. They come and go. And then Detective Waite says, who is his friend? And then how did you translate that to the defendant in line 14 of page 12?
And your pal, who is it?
And what was the defendant's response on line 15 of page 14?
No, well, I've only known him for a little while, but he has quite a few friends.
And then your response was, the other one that is here. Were you referring to Ortiz?
Yes,
Okay, was he in the substation or headquarters at the same time that the defendant was?
he was.
And page 15 on line B3, you posed the question, and what's his name? What was the defendant's response?
Who?
And question by you is your friend. What was the defendant's response?
I don't know. I don't know.
And at this point, you appear to say I or and then what was the defendant's response to that?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know what his name is. Seriously.
And you questioned him saying no. And what was the defendant's response?
No, because he never showed me an identification.
And then Detective Waite states he doesn't know his friend's name, and your response is no. And then you ask the defendant, Marco, what do you call him? Like, And then what was the response that was provided then on line 13, page 15?
At least,
And then you say what? What was the defendant's response?
at least,
And then you clarify saying are these question mark? And then determine weights questions are these. Then on page 16. Line 1, you asked, does he live there with you? What was the defendant's response to that?
no, he lived somewhere else in San Antonio.
You asked, does he live in San Antonio? Do you know where in San Antonio? What was the defendant's response?
No,
And then you questioned no, and what was the defendant's response?
no, he was just going. He was going to help me. Work, that's it.
On line 8 of page 16, you state, didn't you tell the officers that he rents a room there with you in the house? What was the defendant's response to that?
No, sometimes he would go and stay, but never. He would stay in San Antonio with his uncle, or I don't know, with whom.
And on line 10, you say, so sometimes he did stay there. What was the defendant's response?
Yes, since he helped me with work sometimes.
Then I'm gonna jump down to line 14 and you ask the question, how many days was he there this week? What was the defendant's response?
Just today,
Then you asked just today question mark and what was the defendant's response?
yes,
And you ask, okay, so he didn't stay last night, what was the defendant's response?
no,
And then you ask or during the week, and what was the defendant's response?
no, neither,
You asked if he stayed there this month, and what was the defendant's response?
neither.
And then in line 11 of page 17, what did the defendant tell you?
It's just that we were going to go to work and he brought me a drill to go to work, that's all.
And then in line 13 of page 17, you asked the defendant, so Adis, does he use the truck? And what was the defendant's response?
No, as far as I know, no,
And then you clarified, well, the pickup truck, and what was the defendant's response?
not that I know of.
And then in line 18, or backing up, in line 17, you say no, okay, what was the defendant's response to that?
His uncle would take him, I think.
So then on line 1 of page 18, Detective Waite states, no, the Chevy, the SUV, who drives that? And what was the defendant's response to that?
I don't know, the truck was just there, I don't know.
Then you relate to Detective Waite, he says he doesn't know, the truck's is just there. Detective Waite asks the question, okay, does Ramona drive it, and what was the defendant's response?
No,
And you clarify, Ramona doesn't use it, what was the defendant's response?
no, she has her truck in her name, the Dodge.
And then you say, okay, and the defendant states that's correct, is that correct?
Yes,
Then in line 10, you ask, do you have keys for that Tahoe? And what was the defendant's response in line 11?
I couldn't tell you, no,
And then you ask the Tahoe. It's a Tahoe, right? Are you asking that to Detective Waite? Clarifying about the vehicle.
yes,
And then in line 17 of page 18, what does the defendant state?
I just She had her truck, that's all.
And then on line 19 of page 18, you state, did you ever, do you know, did you get into the truck, sit in it, touch it, ever, question mark? And what was the defendant's response on line 1 of page 19?
No, well, we were out there, but I was never looking there or anything.
And then you asked, okay, but you never touched it? What was the defendant's response?
No, as far as I know, I was never there snooping on anything.
And then on line 9 of page 19, what did the defendant act?
Or unless that the children there or something, they have no reason to be to do.
And then so you asked the clarifying question, you never went in, and what was the defendant's response?
No, not me. It's not my business to be looking at things that I don't.
And you didn't ask whose it was, what was the defendant's response?
No,
And you questioned no. And then on page 20, line 1, what was the defendant's?
no, because why would I want to? Not me. It's not my business, right?
And then you clarified here on line 3 of page 20, and you know what Chevy we're talking about, right? What was the defendant's response?
Well, they say that the one that is at the house, I don't know what's going on.
And then, on line 7 of page 20, you asked, aren't there other trucks or pickups there? And what was the defendant's response?
No, those are the neighbors.
And then you asked the defendant, doesn't anyone else live there in the house? Just you, your wife, the children, and this Audis, that could stay there today, right? And what did the defendant say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now during the duration of this interview, did you and Detective Waits show the defendant, photos that were collected during the course of the investigation?
Yes,
Okay. And what, do you recall what type of photos you all showed the defendant?
I believe we showed some still shots of some surveillance video or security video.
And was that the surveillance or security video that was seized from the location of the murder?
Yes,
And did those photos include photos of the defendant and Audis there on the murder location?
yes,
When you asked the defendant, well, on the published page 22, starting on line 20, or we'll back up to line 17. Okay, and we'll back up to line 12. You state, okay, now I'm going to show you other photos, okay? What is the defendant's response?
uh-huh,
And you reply, and just tell the truth. And then you relate to Detective Waits. I'm telling him I'm gonna show other photos that you're just gonna say the truth. And then Detective Waits says, and then you say, okay. But if Detective Waits asks, who is that? And what was the defendant's response?
no, well, I don't know.
Yes. to have you all back here on Monday. And we'll start on Monday at 1:30. Does everyone understand? All right. All right, you can close the record. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is